Welcome to the Columbia Memorial Space Center and the City of STEM Science Festival 2017. We're super excited to have you today. My name is Ben Dicko. I am the President and Executive Director of the Columbia Memorial Space Center, located in Downey, California. The City of STEM Science Festival is a month-long festival of science. We have events going on all over Los Angeles, and today, April 22nd, which is also Earth Day, happens to be the big event here at the Space Center. We have over 24 science partners outside and inside. We have hands-on activities, exhibits, everything that you can think of for science. We're celebrating it today.
Downey has a rich history with science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're looking to find the next leader that's going to help shape, revolutionize the world of technology coming out of Downey.
So the City of STEM Science Festival, we started it about 2 years ago, and it's grown every year since then. Now it's a month-long series of events all over the LA region. I only see this getting bigger. There's a big demand for this kind of programming around the country, and in fact, we just became the official science festival of LA. We're part of the Science Festival Alliance now, which is a national group for festivals like this, and we're the LA representative.
This event is another way for us to bring our community together, to show them what happened here in the city of Downey. Right here is sacred ground for us. This is where the Apollo capsules, the space shuttles, all the BT Bomber 13 airplanes during World War II, they were all manufactured and built right here.
We are not just a space museum looking at history, but we're a science learning center. We have exhibits and programs that give people hands-on experience in science and aerospace. We also do events like the City of STEM Science Festival, where we're able to actually have a connection with our audience and be able to talk to them directly.
The City of STEM is such a great event here for Downey, not only for our residents, but kids of all ages, including my age. We really enjoy having people come to our City of STEM event with a lot of the history that the kids can learn about Downey and how Downey was such an important part of the space history here.
Well, this event is another way for the legacy of Downey and what was created here. We literally put people on the moon, the city of Downey. And as a matter of fact, upstairs on the second floor, you have the handprints of all the astronauts that went on the moon, they came back to Downey to thank all the workers here that did that. We wanted also a way to train our next generation of engineers and astronauts and mathematicians, and that's where the Columbia Space Learning Center was born. At that time, we also had a tragedy. On February 1st, 2003, the Columbia disaster happened. So we became the official memorial, the official recognition for the Columbia family and those astronauts that tragically died.
The mission of the Space Center is to ignite a community of critical and creative thinkers, and that community means everybody, and especially those who are traditionally underrepresented in STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and math. At the Space Center, we actually have a Girls in STEM club. It's a club for girls from about 3rd grade all the way through high school, and they come here every other Saturday to do hands-on science. It's a club environment, so the girls themselves actually run the show. They tell our facilitators what they want to learn about, and then we run around for a few weeks trying to get the materials and let them just pretty much follow their own inspiration. Again, we're very dedicated to supporting those groups in the community who want access to STEM activities, but traditionally it's not welcoming to them. Our Girls in STEM Club is definitely a keystone program for us. We started it about 2 years ago, and it's grown from about 15 girls to over 50. We're actually starting to think about growing Girls in STEM clubs around the communities here in Southeast LA because we know that there's a demand for it. We're able to have a one-on-one conversation throughout the day. We're going to see upwards of 3,000 people here in just one day, and that's 3,000 conversations that we can have around science. Also, there was a study that came out about 5 or 6 months ago that most people think that they don't know scientists. That's like 20% of the population can say that they know a scientist. These events bring scientists to people, and now they can say, hey, I know a scientist. I just met them at the Space Center. That's really a very powerful connection between the public and science.
Eventually someday we want to go to Mars and other planets, and they're going to learn it by coming to places like this and learning the how-tos of space travel.
So the Columbia Memorial Space Center is part of a whole infrastructure of education in the United States that is not school. It's an out-of-school experience, otherwise known as informal science education. And we actually, well, let me put it this way. If you think about your lifespan, you only spend about between 5% and 10% of your life in school, but you don't stop learning science for the other 90 to 90% of your life. That happens in informal spaces like the Space Center or on television or something like that.
and you have Commander Gene Cerna from Apollo 17, the last man to land on the moon. And his last words on there are something we should always remember. When he said, "We leave as we came, God willing, we shall return." And that's what this Science Center is all about. That's what today represents, coming back together and bringing it on to the next generation of our youth.
For next year, for 2018, it's going to be bigger, more partners. We already have a budget ready for it, which is great. We're going to start planning it now this summer. This huge network of science education out there that gets very little notice, but that is actually educating us for most of our lives. So it's very important, I think, that we come out there as a field and say, hey, we're here, we're doing our job for, educating not only adults but children, and we're worthy of support. We're worthy to be celebrated in an event like this.